It's time for a bicycle side quest. It is a beautiful Saturday morning, and I decided I wanted to head to BYU, which is just a couple miles from my house, and go see some of the stuff in the library. Some of you know that I used to teach at BYU, and I was an English professor. I thought I would share a poem and do a little analysis as we go. Today's poem I'm going to share is called Otherwise by Jane Kenyon. It goes like this. I got out of bed on two strong legs. It might have been otherwise. I ate cereal, sweet milk, ripe, flawless peach. It might have been otherwise. I took the dog uphill to the birch wood. All morning I did the work I love. At noon I lay down with my mate. It might have been otherwise. We ate dinner together at a table with silver candlesticks. It might have been otherwise. I slept in a bed in a room with paintings on the walls, and planned another day just like this day. But one day, I know, it will be otherwise. The repetition in this poem really strong. The word otherwise, it's in the title. It shows up 5 times in the poem, including the final word, which is always a point of emphasis and strength. 4 of the 5 times, the poet says, it might have been otherwise, and the last time she says, it will be otherwise. So I think it's a poem of gratitude, of recognizing the fleeting nature of everything. She talks about her strong legs and the ripe peach and the dog. The poem seems to follow the course of a day, from morning when she gets out of bed until at night when she goes to sleep. But it's also the course of a life when she's vigorous and strong until death, or the uncomfortable stage right before death, It's a very physical poem, mostly interested in her body. She stands, she walks, she eats twice, she lays down twice. It's also a poem about luck. She says it might have been otherwise. And for many people, it is otherwise. They don't have the strong legs that can walk uphill or do work they love, or a mate they love, or a home that's filled with beauty. It is otherwise for many people on earth right now, and will be otherwise for everyone, including the poet, eventually. I'm going to read it one more time. Otherwise by Jane Kenyon. I got out of bed on two strong legs. It might have been otherwise. I ate cereal, sweet milk, ripe, flawless peach. It might have been otherwise. I took the dog uphill to the birch wood. All morning I did the work I love. At noon I lay down with my mate. It might have been otherwise. We ate dinner together at a table with silver candlesticks. It might have been otherwise. I slept in a bed in a room with paintings on the walls and planned another day just like this day. But one day, I know, it will be otherwise. So I just did a loop around the library, and now we're going in. There's that BYU 150 you can see above there. And right ahead is the sort of quiet reading room. We'll come back to that. The entrance is in this big, dramatic atrium area. Tons of natural light and the wood on the walls. It's a very, very attractive part of the building. I like the look of the stairs going down right here, where you've got the wood above, but still all that natural light coming through. Straight ahead at the bottom of the stairs here, this is the special collections. We'll come back to this. Right now, I'm going to head just the other direction, and I love this little installation. This is Lloyd Alexander's writing area that, for some reason, BYU has installed on the ground floor of their library. There's a whole little exhibit there about the fantasy worlds he created, and here's one of my favorite things in the library. It's an edition of the St. John's Bible. I'll put a link down in the description. They turn a page a week of this hand-illuminated but 21st century edition of the Bible. So now head back up the stairs, one floor up from Special Collections into that quiet reading room that we saw before. Here in this case that looks completely dark, but then you push a button and a light comes on inside. And it is one of only 500 existing 1830 first editions of the Book of Mormon. Campus was particularly quiet today. They're having an away football game, which was going to start just a few minutes after I filmed this, and so the only students on campus were the particularly dedicated ones. Here's a view of the Y on the mountain and the front of the library. There, I didn't get any other shots of the Y. Mountain up ahead on the left is Mount Timpanogos, and I was trying to get a picture with my phone, but it turned out not to be any better than what I had on the camera on my chest. And on the right there's the Marriott Center, and what you can't see right now is right up here on the left is also the baseball stadium, where they were having a little practice, or were warming up to have a practice. I guess they didn't get the memo that football is the most important thing in the world to most people, but they were practicing anyway. And then just around the corner is the football stadium, which of course is empty today because they're playing in Iowa. This street just a few months ago had big giant trees, and they were causing some problems, so they took all the trees out and I was crushed. And then they fortunately did plant new trees down the median, which should grow up to be healthier trees again. I don't really care about football, but I did just see in The Athletic and the New York Times, it did rank this as one of the top 20 stadiums, the largest in the Big 12. So, it's very prominent where I live. I can hear every game. We see the fireworks when they go off. This is kind of right there in my backyard. But even more in my backyard are the mountains. So directly ahead is Cascade. The sharp peak on the right is Kiev Peak. And I love looking and seeing the mountains, just always to the east and the north and the south of me. So I hope you enjoyed coming on a little bicycle side quest with me today. And you know the drill. Like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.